With Ginger's active ability being reworked for the Christmas event, there has been a lot of mixed feelings about Ginger's new ability. Ginger's active ability now heals tunes to full hearts at the cost of 100 tapes. This user on Twitter has a nice simple video showcasing Ginger's reworked ability. Let's take a look. Okay, so Ginger is healing Rudy. As you can see, Rudy has to stand still and then Ginger is able to heal Rudy and it takes about 3 seconds. And as you saw, Ginger gets 5 I-Core as well. The range is quite small. People have compared the range to Bobbit's Aura, about the same size. There are, of course, a lot of mixed feelings about Ginger's reworked ability. This Redditor made a post saying, "As a Ginger main, I absolutely love her rework." Then they go on to say, "I feel like it's a really well made rework which gives a great risk versus reward feature to her gameplay while making it optimal to have multiple different healer tunes in your run for different situations. I sincerely hope Qwel stays with this idea because this is the most fun I've had in Dandy's World since I started playing a year ago because of Ginger." So this Reddit user loves the new rework. I will admit that Ginger has given Dandy's World a breath of fresh air with this reworked healing ability. She's so different to other healers. This Redditor commented saying, "Very refreshing to see someone else like it. The only change I'd make is that the person getting healed should have a visual indicator that they're being healed." I completely agree. I feel like this gingerbread image should also be shown to the person receiving the healing so they know to stand still because Ginger is trying to heal them. And we have some players who dislikes Ginger's reworked ability. This Redditor says, "Anyone else dislike Ginger's new ability? No, I'm not talking about how she uses tapes or how she heals all hearts. I'm talking about how she actually heals. She used to have amazing range and heal instantly. Now she doesn't have any range. Takes at least 2 to 3 seconds to heal and you basically have to hold still. It makes it such a pain to heal distractors." Qwel was talking about how she was open to hearing criticism and adjusting things to do with the Christmas event. And then this user said, "I'm glad you are then, but please, if you're okay with it, please could you give Ginger back her range or at least make it a bit higher? I can't heal across the other side of the elevator anymore and it's tougher in ice floors." So players are having a hard time getting used to Ginger's range being reduced drastically. As I said, it's about the same size as Bobbit's Aura Circle. Qwel replied saying, "I don't want to say anything too quick when it comes to Ginger, given I'd want to see how users take the change for a bit longer, and I'd like to read more discussions on that. Right now my focus would more so be the ice." Qwel was also talking about making improvements into how you control your tune on the new ice floor event. And then Qwel made a surprise poll saying, "Hey guys, we have seen a lot of discussion about Ginger's ability rework, and I wanted to run a poll to allow the community to decide. Should we revert Ginger's ability to its previous state or leave it as it is? Original ability, longer range, heals 1 heart, instantly works. Reworked ability, short distance, heals 4 hearts, must be held for a few seconds to succeed." And then we have a note saying, "Note, if we revert Ginger, Cosmo's range will also be reverted to its prior state for balancing." If you're unaware, Cosmo's ability range got increased. So if Ginger loses the poll and gets reverted back to her original ability, Cosmo will lose his increased healing range. And here we have the poll. The first option is yes, revert Ginger to Ginger's original ability. And the second option is no, so Ginger's reworked ability will be kept. And when we click show results, reworked ability is winning by about 3,000 votes. There is 2 days left on the poll, but keeping Ginger's reworked ability is winning by 3,000 votes. So we'll have to see in 2 days what happens. Qwel has also said, "Also as additional clarity, if the rework does win to remain, I am still open to adjusting said rework, example raising the range a little." That is good news because players were hoping that there would be a third option to buff the reworked ability as well. Qwel has made it clear that she is open to buffing Ginger's reworked ability. A Redditor who commented commented on the poll that Qwel made on whether or not to keep Ginger's original ability or keep Ginger's reworked ability, said apparently there is already a poll on reverting her back, like it hasn't even been a day. This is the kind of poll that should be done, you know, a week after the rework, so that way everyone can form a solid opinion on her rework, and not rework equals bad. So far, keeping the rework is the winning vote, and the main reason is likely because people still want to try it out for longer rather than jump the gun. I agree with this Redditor. Waiting at least a week for newer players who don't even have Ginger yet to use her and then form an opinion on whether they like Ginger's ability or not would definitely be a better way to go about things. I wonder why Qwel rushed into making the poll without waiting, as this Redditor user said, around a week for everybody to get used to the new Ginger. This Redditor replied saying, agreed, I mean at least Qwel is putting the poll up for 2 days. People who don't have Ginger are mostly voting to let the rework stay since they haven't experienced how bad she actually is compared to before. And I also agree with this Redditor. Thankfully, the duration of the poll is 2 days, which will give a chance for people to actually buy Ginger and use the active ability rather than just voting for reworked Ginger to stay, just so they have a chance of actually using the new ability without it disappearing before they had a chance.